the truth. When you think you're dying, it's fine, I'm giving in. And pop is in your brain. You do it all again, but you don't stop trying.
We demand to be equal! Hold up those torn equal cards, let everybody see them. This is what the government wants to do to trans people. Not acceptable. We will be equal in our state, we will be equal in the eyes of the law, and we will be equal citizens together. Make some noise! Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much, Michael. I don't think there are any excuses. I don't think there's anywhere for the government to hide on this. The trans community is speaking with one voice on all of these issues. The wider LGBT community stands foursquare with our trans brothers and sisters, and we're speaking with one voice on this issue. Every civil society organisation that is apprised of the contents of this bill stands foursquare behind all of the amendments that have been mooted and spoken about here today. There are no more excuses. We want to see amendments, we want to see changes to this, because as my friend Karul said to one of the politicians, they're not the ones who are going to have to live under this regime. They're not going to be the ones who have to navigate this minefield that's been put between people and legal recognition of their identities. And we are saying, not good enough. Time, now. Let's have these amendments, let's get them through. Okay, we've got a little bit of a few suggestions that you can do to move this along. Contact your TDs and senators. Email, phone call, put pressure on them. There is a narrow window of time where we can make them feel our disapproval, make them feel our sense of outrage and injustice at what has the foot dragging that took to get to this point, and now they're offering this as a path to recognition. Not good enough. Contact TDs and senators, do what I know all of you are already doing. Have those conversations with people in your wider circle and engage. This is the year when we all know that the marriage equality referendum is going to dominate our airways. Well, this is part of that discussion too, because that discussion about marriage equality is a discussion about people's dignity and people's relationships and their status before the law. Well, this is that same conversation. The two are inextricable. And it is an obscenity that a government says that your family is worth so little to us that it must end in order for you to avail of this path to recognition. Again, not good enough. No excuses. We will keep you posted, as will Tenny, as will all of the other great organisations that are represented here today, of any other initiatives that we would like you to throw your shoulder behind while this bill passes through the Oireachtas. Please stay tuned. Please do get in touch with your politicians. Let them know that this is not just something that is going to fade away if they duck their head down for long enough, that we are engaged on this, and that those of us who stand here represent organisations and wider society in a way that means there are many thousands of people who are invested in this process, and that they will be tagged with the calamity, essentially, that this legislation will be if it goes through unamended. So do stay engaged and do stay with us. I'm going to do a few thank yous. I want to thank Ger Byrne for the video and the design. I want to thank all of our wonderful speakers today, and I love the fact that there is such a wonderful coalition of people and organisations that come out today to stand on this issue. I also want to thank Niamh, who designed our poster, Derek with Session Hire, thank you very much for the PA, and the Gardaí, of course, who have accommodated us so wonderfully on this beautiful spring afternoon. We're going to do a photo op, so anybody who wants to be in, we're going to have the judge and the doctor with the broken hearts in front of the gates, so we'd like everybody to get in behind them, and on my mark I want you to tear the equals cards that have been handed out, because this legislation does not make trans people equal. It does not recognise their humanity, their shared identity and their citizenship, and we want our government to bring in legislation that will do that, and they have every opportunity to now. No excuses. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And if you wouldn't mind moving in front of the gates, bring all of your cards, bring all of your placards, and get ready to tear those equals cards.
Sometimes I feel like throw my hands up in the air. I know I can count on you. Sometimes I feel like saying, Lord, I just don't care. But you've got the love I need to see me through.